位好，这里是 A 级妖怪，接下来是验尸模拟器的第4章。我也觉得直接住这儿方便多。啊什么？这人怎么总是一惊一乍的
？Damn, it's already late in the evening. Good evening. Any news for me? About my car? You know, the flat tires?
No.
The what? Have you checked the cameras? Anything?
Hanman, I cut my teeth working in prison. I know what to do.
What?
There were no strangers hanging around. Maybe you ran over something.
What? All the tires?
Why, possibly. You can congratulate yourself.
Christ.
You should try sleeping more. You've been kind of out of it lately.
That's the first bit of sense you've made all evening.
Good. The body is expected to be ready for pickup tonight, along with your lecture.
What? What? No, what?
You still pontificating? Best hurry, don't you think?
怎么连保安都开始给我
fuck me.
布置工作了
today. Have I taken my pills today? Did I take it?
终于有一次是用干净的手吃了我的药。
Fuck. I don't have much time. Okay. One by one, Jack. Take it easy. Oh, a burning issue indeed. Then I'll move on to the body. Ah, shit. The lecture. I almost forgot. I'm gonna need the camcorder. This is making me nervous. Well, this is not the best framing. Hello, everyone. It's the 20 something of November 1991. Jack Hanman is conducting the autopsy. Oh, yes. You already know the drill. So, the body is on the slab. Let's see what the police uncovered first. So, the victim is from yesterday's apartment block fire on Drowner Street. Personal details unknown.
什么鬼街会叫水鬼街啊
The body was not found until the next morning. The tenant was naked, charred, and with severe burns. The owner of the apartment asked about the deceased. He was surprised anyone even lived there. The deceased was sitting in an armchair near the TV. Pieces of pornographic material, an ashtray, melted video cassettes, and several bottles of so-called poppers were found in the vicinity. It's difficult to assess whether any escape attempts were made. Firefighters indicated that it was probably the large quantity of poppers found near the deceased and rapid spread of the fire. The exact cause of the fire has not yet been determined. However, it is known that the fire started in the deceased's apartment, where the most damage was reported. Well, that's our basic question, whether the death occurred as a result of fire, or whether he was dead before it. As you can see, the body is in quite an unusual pose. For the purpose of photographic documentation, we'll leave it like that for now.
一会儿我是要把它掰回正常的 pose 吗
This position is called the pugilistic attitude. This is due to the influence of high temperature on the muscles. The fire reaches the skin first, then the soft tissue, until the skeletal muscles are exposed. Coagulation occurs in exposed muscles due to their fibers shrinking.
个人也是生殖器被砍了吗
？The extensors yield to the force of the flexors. The muscles contract and contract until the limbs become flexy and deformed. The upper ones are characterized by a triple bend, similar to a boxer holding his hands in front of him. Just 10 minutes will do it. 10 minutes for the muscles and tendons to contract like a steak on the grill.
这一份牛排已经烤糊喽。
In the end, we're all just walking meat. The deceased must now be straightened out, and we need to get rid of these bindings. He looks to have been tied up in a rather unusual way. The deceased's neck and feet were most likely secured to his hands, and these were probably tied in front, at around the crotch level. Which explains why, despite the severe burns, the deceased's limbs are not all that twisted. That's better. It's easier to straighten him now. Without taking out the magnifying glass, we already know that the deceased's skin is heavily charred and cracked. As for the other details, there are crow's feet visible near the eyes. Upper lip reveals front teeth. One of the incisors is broken. There's soot
说
in the
明火灾发
nostrils.
生的时候还活着。
The rope around the neck wasn't very tight. I don't see it leaving a mark on the skin. You can clearly see that this is primarily the front of the deceased that was exposed to fire. The victim sat in the chair the whole time, hence his back being in much better condition than this extremely burned area. The rope marks around the wrists are deep and clearly visible. Looks as if a large flap of skin had detached from the calf. The rope at the man's ankles was tied much tighter and more precisely than the one around his wrists. All in all, quite a lot can be deduced from this external examination. The eye clenching is a natural reaction of the body to high temperatures. Soot in the nose appears when inhaling harmful and choking smoke. The tissue of the mouth was heavily burned as well. The teeth, however, makes me wonder. Traces fail to indicate that the deceased suffocated before the fire took hold. Oh, that must have been terrifying. Severe burns, covering approximately 80% of the epidermis. He appears to be loosely tied. However, this is the result of the corpse drying out. The wound shows that the rope had deeply imprinted itself in the tissue. Predominance of 4th and 3rd degree burns. The burns reach through the dermis and hypodermis to reach the muscles. The body is covered in numerous areas. The length of the rope was calculated, and appears that the deceased could make limited movements around the perineum. The conclusions are quite clear. It may seem incidental, but for us it's a sign that the deceased was most certainly conscious. We need to check the damage inhaling all that smoke has done to the respiratory tract. Perhaps the deceased lost a tooth attempting to bite through the rope. It looks like the deceased was a fan of choking while masturbating. Deaths due to a predilection for asphyxophilia do occur, but not in this case. The extent of the thermal stresses on the body could have caused this death. Wounds on the wrists and ankles indicate that the deceased could have been struggling in panic. Burns to the genitals and groin are an additional concussive factor. This is due to the high vascularity and innervation of this area. In this case, I don't assume that this was a delayed death. The mixture of fear, sexual arousal, and drugs could have caused a heart attack. I will assess the extent of possible poisoning and burning in a moment. First, I'll try to establish the victim's identity. Due to the amount of charring, we are unable to collect the victim's fingerprints. Visual identification is also out of the question. You can probably guess what options we are left with. You guessed it, a dental impression. For this, I need Okay, it's going well. I should be able to get this done in time. Maybe in this drawer. I'll warm this up in my hands. Okay, making an impression is quite simple. You put trays with alkanate into the mouth and press them together in one. Once the devices have been placed, apologies, they cannot be adjusted. Okay, again, we will need a piece of paper, a brush, and ink. We will make a plaster model of the deceased's teeth from the obtained impression. We will then make an impression of the mold on a piece of paper, which will be scanned into the computer.
老三呀。
You see, it seems so simple and yet laborious. On the plus side, we don't have to worry about the gag reflex with the deceased, and no need to remind the subject to breathe either. At least he saved the high cost of orthodontic treatment.
这个牙印看起来跟上次把那个胖子生殖器咬下的那个牙印好像啊。
The deceased is Richard Jacobson, 47 years old. He had a criminal record and was recently in court for... Oh, wow. For not returning a videotape to the rental shop. Oh, Jesus. I better check if I've still got that copy of... where were we? Okay, I'll add some details to the clipboard. Okay, and we can move on to dissecting the body. This time, I'll go straight for the loppers. I'll slice it piece by piece. Let me start here. I push hard several times. Until I cut a given section. You can see that using a scalpel would be pointless here.
crunch，
Solid crunch，
已经烤得脆脆的了。或者说有另外一个人强迫他把那个胖子的生殖器咬下来了，然后把他也杀掉了。
Now we peel back the skin. Now to remove the ribs. And we can check out what's going on in here. And I see that a lot has happened. In fact, the entire abdominal cavity is flooded. Blood and other fluids have seeped from the blood vessels, flooding the abdomen and chest areas. We have to get rid of this. I'll go get a cup.
咬出去吗？这也太原始了。
I think I saw one somewhere here. I don't have all night. I'm going
我就说嘛，这小子也太小了。
Running around for everything starts again. Why can't things be tidied away properly in this damn mortuary? I'm gonna get Ridley. I wonder what this pump is. Mr. Ridley? Mr. Ridley? I'll just go to the basement and check.
他能去哪儿呢？他难道在巡逻吗？我要去开地下室，我感觉开地下室是这个游戏最恐怖的环节，因为这鬼东西声音好大。哎，那有人吗？有人在我办公室里？没有吗？我简直想现在立刻马上就打开我的录屏 check 一下里面是不是有个人。一会儿他不会把我关地下室了吧
？Jeez, I don't know what the for. Rusty scrap. God. Where is this infernal machine? Wow, that's heavy. Can I fit through the door with this?
再检查一下这里面。
I swear I'm going to have an accident here one day. Like Alice, when she twisted her ankle on those stairs. We were supposed to go to the mountains then. It was supposed to be our first trip since... I don't know how long. It's so
我
much
真的
work
觉
on
得
my
是他
mind.
自己把他老婆杀了的。
And Alice.
Handman.
Because of me. As always, she had to...
Handman, are you talking to yourself or what?
Huh? What? No, I just...
There is a letter for you. I left it on your desk.
Letter? For me?
Yes, letter for you. Do I have to...
A letter? Fuck! Who delivers letters at this time? It's probably been sat in his office for ages. Just didn't want to move his lazy ass.
我想先看信，但是手上有东西能看吗？那刚才在我办公室里的就是应该是这个 replay 了。3649又是什么？信呢？信呢？Just a reminder, I'll see you Friday. 哦，是，哎，哪有信？
So, we have the equipment. Now I have to place it somewhere close to the table. Phew. I can finally put this thing down. Alright, just... What? There's no tube? No one's used this for a long time. I apologize to you all once again. Aha. 3649. Okay. 3649. 3649. 3749. 3794. They definitely pay me too little for this. Aha. 3649. 3649. 3649. 3749. 3794. They definitely pay me too little for this. These lockers could contain everything we need. Ah, screw it. There might be something in here. Yep. I'm sure I wrote the code down on a piece of paper.
4 9我脑子可比你好好用多了。
for numbers. What do we have here? Boxes of disinfectants, syringes, thread. Oh, that's interesting. Antiseptics. But here. I wanted to forget. Alex.
这是个啥？吊卷？
I regret so much every day.
最后悔，人就是你杀的吧？
Every fucking
就
day.
是你杀的。
I can't take it anymore. Oh God. I can't. How do I? Phone. Do not think. Just don't think. Office of the Medical Examiner, Peatsville.
Oh, Jack. I was hoping to catch you at work.
Hi, Dorothy. How's it going?
Good, thanks. And what about you? You sound tired.
Tiring day at work. That's it.
You scared me last time we spoke.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to cause any trouble and say what I said.
Jack, it's all right. You're not causing any trouble. I'm not surprised at all that.
No, really. I mean it. Sorry. I just... I'm fed up with myself.
You should take care of yourself. Didn't you say you wanted to stay at home longer? To rest? You know I pick up the slack at work.
No, I didn't. I can't. I don't want to be there.
Well, why not consider taking a trip, Jack?
Dorothy, please. I really don't have the energy for this today.
No, I just wish.
Stop it. Why are you calling?
Reminder about annual drug testing. I figured you probably didn't remember.
Oh, yes. I've, had a lot going on. I, even forgot my own birthday.
Leave your samples at reception on your way home. Someone will pick them up from Ridley in the morning. Probably Steven or someone else at the station.
Sure. I'll try not to forget. Okay, well,
Jack? Try not to do anything stupid, okay? Alcohol, your medication. You know you shouldn't.
I have it all under control. I should be getting back to work.
The results should be in tomorrow. I'll call you when we know.
Right. Thanks.
Goodbye, Jack.
Bye. Annual drug testing. I'll take care of it before I go home. I feel there's been a bit too much going on lately.
My happy little pills.
I was supposed to collect the hose. Focus on your work, Jack. All right. Here I am. I hope that was the last long break in this session. So,
是一个
let's
速度
connect the tube.
我们不用再保守一点吗？
We turn on the machine.
好吧。
With this amount of fluid, there's no point in holding back.
腐败湖。
Still a few nooks and crannies left.
猩红腐败。
External examinations did not reveal any tissue defects that would reach the internal organs.
我要吸得这么干才行啊。
In a way, it's quite extraordinary that even with such severe burns, skin, fat, muscles, the organs are all present and correct. A reddish pink tint indicates high carboxyhemoglobin levels, the level of which I will determine from a sample of blood. I will be inserting needles into the heart and femoral artery. What interests me here is not the presence of this substance itself, but rather its percentage count. But first,
完了
I'll need the，
一
values
会儿
for
用
the
离心机
centrifuge.
又该闹鬼了。
I feel like I've been here forever. Jack, focus. Just a little bit longer. Corpses recovered from the site of fire may have very different and complex histories. Burning is only at the surface. Underneath, it may be a heart attack, stroke, or pulmonary embolism. This particular case appears quite basic.
应该这个吧，10分钟85。
However, I would warn against making a diagnosis too hastily. A fire victim does not always mean death due to smoke inhalation. The centrifuge has completed its cycle. So, as usual, I will take the samples to the laboratory, and I'll be back with the results shortly.
要把它关掉了，不让关，不让关就这样吧。
Ugh. What exactly was I supposed to test for? COHB. I'll take 2 milliliters of each sample. Ugh. confirmed. Death due to carbon monoxide poisoning. Carboxyhemoglobin levels at 84%. Alright, I'll note this down and perform a check of the organs.
What? 尸体呢？
Mr. Ridley? Why did he take that fucking body? Maybe I...
是长队跑
I'm
了，
just tired.
不会在厕所这种鬼地方等着我吧？
I don't understand what's going on. Maybe I think I'm just tired.
我就不应该上
What's wrong
班。
with me? Something strange is happening here. Why did you take the body?
What body?
Well, the body, you know, from the autopsy room.
Christ, Hammond, I didn't take any of your bodies.
So who took it?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But
Get back.
I'll go back to the dissecting room. Maybe I just saw something wrong. I think there's... I must have been seeing things. We can now be sure that the carboxyhemoglobin the organ has a reddish pink tint, which results from the concentration of COHB and general congestion of the organ.
吃下就可以获得龙的力量
I。can cross this off my list now. We will look at the lungs more carefully. From the outside, just like the heart, it is congested, and the color indicates poisoning. Thermal damage is visible here and there. Enough of the external exam. It's time to grab the knife and dissect the lung. I need to check for any obstruction, burns, or clots. Jesus. Alright. You can see changes in the lung parenchyma caused by burns and smoke inhalation. Nothing new here.
它这个切面看着好像雪花牛排。
So let's complete the notes. And let's check the trachea. The color is the same as the rest of the organs. Significant congestion. Let's see what it looks like inside. Okay, the final cut. There are visible burns inside, but what catches the eye the most is the amount of soot. Looks like our subject was in the thick of the fire. Let's deal with the final notes, and we're ready to go. I considered the direct cause of death to be severe carbon monoxide poisoning, leading to extreme hypoxia of the body. The extreme burns on the deceased's body and respiratory tract indicate that he must have been surrounded by fire. During the examination, no other factors were found that could have contributed to the victim's death. Environmental data does not indicate any third-party involvement.
不是自杀，也没有其他人在场，那未知吗？事故、自然原因、自杀、未知、 凶杀
Just need to
都
add
选
my
不了
John，Hancock
又现在
and
没有
sew up
点
the
上
body.
去，真是受够了。
I'll close the body, trying not to damage what's left of the skin. As for stitching, well, it varies. It can be that the fire victims are in such a condition that there is nothing left to stitch. So for this job, a thicker needle
更
and
粗的
heavy-duty
针，
thread.
更坚韧的线，我觉得不行吗？可以啊。
Well, everything's holding together. Keeping it together is invaluable in this line of work.
严
Well,
丝缝合
after
非常
storing
的
the
重要。
body, there's nothing left for me to do. But thank you for your attention. All the best, and good night. Ugh, my God. What an exhausting day. I need to get these gloves off and call a taxi. I swear I'm about to pass out from exhaustion. Oh, fuck. Urine sample. Oh, no.
药液样本，
Okay, quick. I think I have a
这办公室
container
拿
in
样
the
本
lab or
容
office.
器，这是容器吗？
Okay, this is
我
it.
一直以为这是我的药罐子。
I'm dehydrated. I should drink more water. As expected, sleeping like a log. I'm jealous.
还有睁着眼睛睡觉的、啊，太吓人了。
What's going on here?
打什么呢？一点都吓不到人。
Hurricane taxi, we will take you wherever the wind takes you.
Hello. I would like to order a taxi to 574 Presley Street.
Okay, hun. All of our drivers are busy at the moment. Best I can do is within the next hour.
An hour? Oh no. Alright. Let it be.
Can I take your name?
Jack Hanman.
Okay, thank you. Do you have our loyalty card?
Oh.
Would you like to set one up? We're regular customers. We have discounts and extra.
Would that make the taxi get here faster?
Well,
I thought so. Thank you. Goodbye. This is already giving me a headache. Ah, Jesus, what now? Yes, how can I help you?
Jack, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
Oh my God! What was that? What the fuck? Fuck. It's because of the fatigue. This was some kind of mistake. An hour here. I need a drink. Oh, strong. Everything's spinning.